Embark on a journey into the profound insights of Arthur Schopenhauer with our latest addition to QuotientQuotables' Philosophical Musings playlist. Explore timeless wisdom from the German philosopher as we unravel thought-provoking quotes on talent, genius, and the mysteries of the human mind. Join us on QuotientQuotables for thought-provoking content that will ignite your intellect and inspire personal growth. Subscribe for a regular dose of inspiration and wisdom as we delve into Schopenhauer's philosophical musings. Sorry for the overlay. Life is a game of cards. The hand that is dealt you is determinism. The way you play it is free will. The world is will and representation. The only necessary thing in life is suffering. Life is pain, suffering is life. Death is nothing, but to live defeated is to die defeated every day. Man can do without everything except death. The fear of death is a disease. The love of death is a sign of mental illness. Love is a will to live a life that is in agreement with one's own nature. Love is not a feeling, it is an action, a decision. True love is the will to give one's life for another. The only way to escape from the suffering of love is to lose it. Love is a form of self-torture. The greatest wisdom is in knowing you know nothing. All knowledge is either trivial or useless. The pursuit of knowledge is an endless journey. Wisdom is the ability to understand the nature of reality. Knowledge is useless without wisdom. Human beings are not rational beings, they are emotional beings. Human beings are selfish and motivated by fear. Human beings are capable of great love and great hate. Human beings are the most dangerous animal on earth. Life is a series of struggles, and happiness is always the interval between two struggles. The world is a tragedy for those who feel, and a comedy for those who think. Every man takes the limits of his own field of vision for the limits of the world. The great and important things of life are beyond our control. The less important things are under our control. All happiness depends on a leisurely enjoyment of life, and a leisurely enjoyment of life depends upon having something to enjoy. The will is the faculty by which we strive after what we lack, and aversion to what we have. What we call willpower is nothing but the effect of our character on our desires. The reason why we so often fail to reach our goals is that we do not really want them. Our happiness always lies just beyond our grasp, but only if we keep striving for it. The more we desire something, the more we suffer when we don't get it. Love is the state of being willing to give yourself to another person without guarantee of return. Love is the only way to overcome the loneliness of existence. Love is the most powerful force in the universe, but it is also the most dangerous. Love is a battlefield where we are both the victor and the vanquished. The only true way to love another person is to be willing to let them go. Beauty is the objectification of the will's tendency towards representation. Art is a way of transcending the limitations of our own existence. Art is the highest form of human expression. Philosophy is the study of the world as it is in itself, apart from our subjective experience of it. Knowledge is the only thing that can truly free us from suffering. The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing. The more we learn, the more we realize how much we don't know. Philosophy is not a matter of opinion, but of truth. The world is a canvas painted for our own amusement. Life is a dream and death is the awakening. The world is will, and will is striving. The will is the essence of everything that exists. The will is a blind, striving force that drives us all. The will is the source of all suffering. The only escape from suffering is death. The more we want, the more we suffer. We suffer because we want what we can't have. Love and sex are often in conflict. Death is the cessation of the will. Death is the only escape from suffering. We should all strive to live a good life so that we can die without regret. Death is the end of our individuality. The pursuit of happiness is a futile endeavor. We can only find happiness by accepting the world as it is. We should strive to live a meaningful life, not a happy life. Art is a way of escaping from the world. Art can give us a glimpse of the true nature of reality. Art can be a source of great joy and inspiration. Art can help us to understand ourselves and the world around us. There is no such thing as objective morality. Morality is based on our own desires and preferences. Morality is a tool that we use to control other people. Morality is a means to an end, not an end in itself. The will to live is the source of all our suffering. The will to live is a blind, irrational force that drives us all to seek pleasure and avoid pain. The will to live is the reason we are always striving for more, and why we are never satisfied. The will to live is the root of all our unhappiness. The only way to escape the will to live is to deny it. The will to power is the driving force behind all human action. The will to power is the desire to dominate and control others. The will to power is the source of all conflict and suffering. The only way to overcome the will to power is through compassion and selflessness. The will to power is ultimately self-defeating. The world as representation is the world as we perceive it through our senses. The world as representation is not the real world, but a subjective illusion. the world as representation is constantly changing and evolving. The world as representation is ultimately unreal and meaningless. The world as representation is only real as we experience it. Compassion is the only way to escape the suffering of the will. Compassion is the ability to see the world from another person's perspective. Compassion is the key to a meaningful and fulfilling life. Compassion is the highest form of human virtue. Compassion is the only antidote to the will to power. His ideas are often challenging and unconventional, but they can also be deeply insightful and illuminating. I encourage you to continue exploring his work and engaging with his philosophical concepts. His challenging insights into the nature of reality, suffering, the will to live, the will to power, the world as representation, and compassion can deepen your understanding of the human condition and guide you towards a more meaningful existence.